Welcome back to A Veil of Crime. Some crimes are not born of bloodshed. They are born of fear. In 1612, a child's voice became the noose around her own family's neck. A voice the crown celebrated and history could never forget. This is the story of Jennet Device, the Pendle Witch Child. The Pendle trials did not begin in the village cottages of Lancashire. They began in London, inside King James I's political agenda. James had already written Daemonology, a royal tract urging the hunting of witches. Lancashire was viewed as Catholic, unruly, and ungoverned, the perfect stage for a royal show trial. The message was clear. To question the king is to question God, and to question witchcraft persecutions is to question the king. The Devices were not feared mystics. They were destitute, living on scraps, and begging. There was the grandmother, Elizabeth Southerns, mother, Elizabeth Device, and her children, James, Alison, and Jeannette, approximately 9 through 12 years old. They lived near Pendle Hill, which was land tied to older folk magic traditions, but mostly tied to survival. The grandmother was considered a cunning woman, part healer, part midwife, a common role before physicians were available to peasants. In March 1612, Alison allegedly begged from a traveling peddler named John Law. When he refused her, he suffered a sudden stroke. Superstition plus fear equals witchcraft accusation. Alison was questioned, then her family was questioned, then their rivals, the Chaddocks family, were even dragged in. It snowballed, as witch hunts always do. During questioning, little Jeannette was separated from her mother and siblings, an interrogation tactic still recognized today. When hauled into trial at Lancaster Castle, she was stood on a table so that the court could see her. When she pointed out her mother and declared her a witch, Elizabeth screamed in anguish from the dock. The court interpreted her grief as diabolical fury, proof of guilt. A child's fear became royal confirmation. Under normal English law, children were considered unreliable witnesses, but witchcraft trials used continental inquisitorial logic, not English common law. A starving girl, eager to please authority, isolated from her family and rewarded with approval, became the perfect witness. The crown did not need truth, it needed spectacle. In August 1612, 10 people were hanged on Gallows Hill. Most were condemned by the child that they once fed, slept beside, and clung to for warmth. When the noose snapped, the rope was not pulled by the hangman, it was pulled by politics. History remembers her as the girl who doomed her own family, but 20 years later, the terror turned back on her. In 1634, another witch panic erupted. This time the witness was a boy, and he accused Jeannette herself. She was imprisoned on suspicion of witchcraft. Records after that fade, but most historians believe that she died in Lancaster alone and unnamed, devoured by the same system that had once used her. The machine never protects the child, it only borrows her voice. She was not a witch, she was a child, hungry, frightened, and transformed into an instrument of state terror. Not all crimes are written in blood. Some are written in testimony and signed in fear. Thank you for watching A Veil of Crime. Please like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you never miss an upload.